starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon His last and final messenger, family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes. Welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred in my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a lot of haters up in here. And family, oh my goodness, man. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Can y'all hear me? Press number 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me, please. Number 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me, man. But this is like... first of all, I got to ask a question to the brothers out there in the States and Philly and whatnot. Like, what the heck is going on out there, man? Like, how is your competition, you know, some of the most airheaded, ignorant, you know, just out of jailbirds I've ever seen in my life. You know, untalented, uneducated, but what they have is scripting. You're competing with scripting and a whole bunch of noise. And how did you let it degrade to this point? This is really, really embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing. And not only is it embarrassing, but it is something that like anybody with just a little bit of common sense can deal with very, very quickly and easily. You know, so I don't understand how these videos are ending up in my feed. Also, I think maybe because I did, you know, the videos a couple of weeks back about the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites. I think that's how it's ending up in my feed, right? So, but anyways, these Hebrew Israelites videos, they keep ending. I don't like talking about them. They're like, it's like, bruh, you know what I mean? It's like you all can't be serious, but they have such a large following, and their channels are doing way better than most of the Muslim channels, Black Muslim channels, anyway. Because not because of the intellectual value of their arguments, but because they're actually going out and trying to reach out to their own people. You know what I mean? That's why they have this appeal, because they're showing concern to their own people. So the question is, y'all Black Salafis, where is your concern for your own people? Are we still doing this? You know, Mohammed bin Salman is the Salafi leader for the Ummah. Are we still doing this in 2023? Is that what we're doing? Are we still doing, you know, Sheikh Rabi is the Imam of Jahwa? Is that what we're doing? Is this our dawah still after all these years, that we allow ignoramuses like this to come into the community and not just you know, be successful, you know, dominate, you know, in their propagation with really nothing much of value at all. Nothing much of value, nothing much of substance, not even any type of, how can I say, grassroots building, put it that way. You know what I mean? Like, no centers of learning, no scholarship, nothing. Just a whole heap of hot air and cheerleading and, you know, a whole bunch of, you know, you could say like acting. It's like a lot of acting going on, right? You know, chest puffing and whatnot, you know, and that's pretty much their entire spiel. But anyways, this video ended up in my my feed, Okay, the Hebrew Israelites again. And the title of this video from the IUIC, these dudes in the purple now, is Islam is plagiarism of the Bible. You can't make this crap up. That's their whole argument. You know what I mean? So plagiarism in of itself is one of the easiest crimes you can prove. It's such a simple crime you can prove. Okay? It's not something difficult at all, right? In order to prove plagiarism, all you have to do is you've got to show that your material was, created before somebody else stole that particular material and put it out and labeled it as their own, right? It's such an easy crime to prove. So Allah, He has a challenge in the Quran, okay? And Allah says in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بسورة من مثله وادعوا شهداءكم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين. Okay, so to translate, it says, if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our slave, then produce a chapter like it. Okay? And bring your witnesses. This is a challenge from the Quran itself. Bring your witnesses if you are indeed truthful. But Allah, He doesn't stop there. Right? Allah, He continues. Okay? فإن لم تفعلوا ولن تفعلوا فأتوا hold on, let me see. فإن لم تفعلوا ولن تفعلوا فاتقوا النار التي وقودها الناس والحجارة. Okay, فاتقوا النار وقودها الناس والحجارة وإن حجارة وعدت للكافرين. Okay, so Allah, He continues, right, that you will not, and you can't do it, and you will never, ever be able to do it. So fear the fire, whose fuel is of men and stones, and for the disbelievers is a set time. Okay, as a set time. So this challenge is in the Quran. It's been in the Quran now for the better part of 1400 years. If you believe that Islam plagiarized the Bible, is no problem. Bring your Bible verses, your chapters, okay, and bring the chapters from the Quran that you are claiming that are plagiarized. Why does Allah make this? Because this claim is not a new claim. Do you think that the Israelites are the first people on earth to ever make this claim? Okay, this claim is a very old claim, right? That even the disbelievers at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, used to try to say that the Prophet Muhammad said something that he was doing. Okay, they used to try to charge the Prophet Muhammad sallam with this claim that he is plagiarizing from us. So Allah challenged them. No problem. You're saying that our slave, meaning the Prophet Muhammad sallam, he's copying from you, correct? Bring your chapters and bring your witnesses if you are truthful. If you are truthful, right? But Allah, He doesn't stop there, right? He says, فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا. He says, you can't do it, and you will never, ever be able to do it. Okay? فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. Right? And to fear the fire, right, whose fuel is of men and stone. This is Allah threatening those very same people who are making this audacious claim. He's threatening them now, right? He's saying, fear the fire. When you can't do it, Fear the fire. Oh, it doesn't look after. And for the disbelievers, they have their their time limit is set. Okay, so at any rate, let's watch this video and we go cook. And we hope some of these Israelites they come and they visit us. I hope they come. Like they haven't come so far. I know they see and they can't be they know. As a matter of fact, somebody tag them. Somebody tag these folks. I'm gonna leave the link in the description, and then one of y'all please tag these guys. All right, I'm gonna put the link to the video in the chat. Okay, give me a minute here. Here's the link of the video we're watching. Please tag them. Please tag them. Tag all of them. Saying this is the challenge. Okay? If you believe what you say in truth, come deal with this. Come deal with this. And for the brothers in Philly and the East Coast or whatnot, honestly, y'all got, with all honesty, it's time for us to get our stuff together. This is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Okay? So at any rate, let me just share this now. Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon, y'all. I put the video that we're watching in the chat. I want all of you to tag them. Pull the video up all on your windows or whatnot. Tag every IUIC that you can find. Send them here. They like to discuss so much with their microphones and their DMX style of propagation. And the Lord said, "What?" The Lord said, "What?" They like to do that stuff. Let them come over on our side. Let's have a conversation then. You want to talk? Let's talk. Give me a moment, y'all. The Lord said, "What?" All right, let's play. This is so crazy. Let's watch this, y'all. Hold on, let me just get this all set up before I get on this. Let's watch some DMX Dawa. You all ready to see some DMX Dawa? Y'all ready? Let's get it.
And take scriptures from the Bible and make it something like a complicated of the Bible.
Exactly. So you just proved what I said. That book supersedes the Quran because that man went into this book to create his understanding. But in this book also lies the fact that Muhammad, what was his race? What was Muhammad's race?
I want y'all to hear that again.
All right. So you agree with that? Even though, like I can tell you, we're not of the Muslim faith. The Muslim was plagiarized. The Quran was plagiarized from the Bible.
Okay, that's the first claim, right? We already dealt with this from the Quran directly. Plagiarism is one of the most easiest crimes to prove ever. And it doesn't take much effort to prove plagiarism. It doesn't take effort to prove plagiarism at all. All you got to do is show you had something before I had something, correct? The claim is the Bible was plagiarized from the Quran, or the Quran was plagiarized from the Bible, rather. That's the claim. So we already read from the Quran this challenge, because this challenge is as old as Islam itself. So let's keep watching.
Why is this similar teachings? Huh? You don't believe that?
See, he's saying that it's similar teachings because of plagiarism, not because of the common God that revealed the books to all the prophets. Instead of looking at it as the one God revealing his religion to all the prophets, which is what the Muslims believe, we believe that Allah sent the prophets to throughout the earth, and all the prophets came with the same message. You don't look at it like that. He looking at it like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu is plagiarized from the Bible, with, of course, not a single shred of evidence. Not one single shred. It's just some empty claims. But let's keep watching, y'all. I don't want to talk too much. Let's just play this. Let's play it out.
And he sent his prophets down for revelation. Just like he sent Jesus for revelation. And he used another Mary as a sign to the people with his miracles and what he could do. I also believe that he gave the prophet. How can this man who couldn't read or write go into the Bible and take scriptures from the Bible and make it something like a complicated of the Bible?
Exactly. So you just proved what I said. That book supersedes the Quran because that man went into this book to create his understanding. But in this book also,
this is the other claim. We already dealt with this already too. Family, I'm going to ask y'all. Does the Quran precede the Bible, or does the Bible precede the Quran? Or let me rephrase that, because the Hebrew Israelites, they only read from exclusively the King James Version, correct? So which came first, the King James Version of the Bible or the Quran? Somebody put it in the chat, please. Any old idiot can look this up on the internet right now. Any old fool can look this up on the internet right now. Okay, so C.L. Edwards, he said, because they're a henotheists, they think that Allah belongs to them alone and he isn't the Lord of all mankind. Yeah. Exactly. And we said it before that the Israelites are really Christians, who use a lot of Muslim talking points, but masquerading as Jews. So C.L. Edwards again, C.L. Edwards, he put it out there. The Quran is older than the King James Version. Hello? The book that you read, can you imagine now? Here is the claim. They are reading a Bible in English. There's no King James Version in any other language other than English. Y'all hearing me? The Quran was revealed in Arabic. The English translation of the King James Version, it depended on some earlier manuscripts of Latin. The King James himself ordered, through the order of the king who patronized funded the translation of this Bible, he ordered 50 different scholars of the highest eminence to come up with this translation of the Bible. What year was it? 1611. So the Quran revealed in Arabic. And somehow, these guys are time travelers, man. They behoove the laws of physics, the laws of science. Somehow, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu went all the way to the future, some 1,000 years into the future, found himself a King James Bible, which they read. They only exclusively read the King James Bible. Right? He skipped the Latin, he skipped the Greek, he skipped all of that. He skipped all of that. He skipped all the Apocrypha. He skipped all the 80 books which the original King James Version had. He skipped all of that. Right? Comes back 1,000 years into the past to translate that English version of the King James Version Bible into Arabic and then give us the Quran. And they can't find a single example of this plagiarism. Imagine that. Imagine that. Can you imagine? It's the most ridiculous claim. You are reading from the King James Bible exclusive. You don't even know where you get the King James Bible from. These folks believe. Anyways, I'm not going to say that. Well, maybe they might mention it. I'm not quite sure. This is the first time I'm watching this in entirety. So let's get into it. Okay. Make sure you tag these folks. I left the link. I'm going to leave the link again. One more again. The link of their video is in the chat. Tag them now, please. They got some splaining to do up in here. Okay. We got questions. Muhammad plagiarized from the Bible. Word? Okay. Let's keep watching here.
Lies the fact that Muhammad, what was his race? What was Muhammad's race? Muhammad was a who? No, he wasn't. No. He was an Arab. You know who his father was? The race of his father? His father came from our forefather Abraham.
Are Arabs a race? Let me ask y'all something. Are Arabs a race? Yes or no, please? When you think of race, do you think the Arab race? Thank you, Sister Tika. Why is nobody catching this stuff? Arab is a race now? What race is Muhammad? He's the Arab race. Word? Y'all are tripping, man. This is your competition, Philly. What is going on out there? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? This is ridiculous. Y'all should be embarrassed, man. Look, what is the heck is going on out there? It's because y'all fighting each other. You fight each other, and then this stuff gets settled, and it's allowed to grow roots and spread. Right now, I wouldn't have any issues with them with anybody making their own propagation. Or I don't really care, right? However, the method of their propagation is to make sure that they refute each and every single other religion that is not them. That's their whole methodology, including Muslims. So they are growing off of your division. That's how they're growing. Because you out here still, after all these years, talking about some Sheikh Rabia stuff. We still on that Sheikh Rabia stuff. And they are out there showing great concern for black folks. You get it? Even now I'm like, I'm embarrassed. The guy literally said, what race is Muhammad? He was the Arab race. Like, what in the hell Cool J is going on here? Let's keep watching, yo. This is so ridiculous.
But the intriguing thing is, who was his mother?
His father was Ishmael. His mother was Rebecca.
No. His mother's name was Hagar, which she was an Egyptian, right? So Ishmael now is a forefather of the Arab nation. So his descendants, Muhammad, is from Ishmael. So he's an Arab. He went and studied the book of the Jews. As a matter of fact,
did the Prophet Muhammad say something? Did he study the book of the Jews? Like, these are such easy claims to debunk. You make the claim that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu he studied the book of the Jews. No problem. Who taught him? What's the guy's name? Who was this Jewish teacher of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu who taught him the book of the Jews? Inquiring minds need to know. Like this stuff is like light work. This is light work. Like it's not even. That's why I don't even like talking about these folks, man. But again, this stuff ended up in my feed, and I'm watching this, and they're making these entire videos about this, and they're growing so big in Philly, and y'all can't handle this stuff. Are you kidding me right now? I'm sorry. It is embarrassing. It is. You guys should surely be embarrassed because this is embarrassing. I hope y'all are embarrassed. So y'all need to step up your game. Philly, step up. Let's keep watching.
Guess what? He was a camel driver. He was a chauffeur.
Oh,
he
crying
drove
out loud.
Jews from one place to another, and he was very inquisitive. You asked.
Family, was the problem? I want to say something. Was he a camel driver? Driving Jews like a taxi from one place to another? Was that his job? Somebody put in a chat, please. Like, where are they getting this stuff from? The Prophet ﷺ, his career was to drive the Jews from one place to another. You're asking me, Sister Tika's asking me, where did they get this from? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but the blessing is from all of this is that this stuff couldn't be easier to deal with. Even Sister Iman is like, what's going on here? Like, what? Dr. Sebastian Longstaff. He's like chariot taxi service. Like what is really happening? How? How? It's just an indictment. To be honest, again, Philly, this is really an indictment on your dawah. It's an indictment on your dawah. I have yet to see the Salafis on the streets like these guys are on the streets. Do y'all see it? I know Abu Aramia, he's there. In Abu Aramia, okay? Abu Aramia. In Philly, are the Salafis out in the streets making dawah like the Israelites, Black Hebrews? Are they on the streets like that, Abu Aramia? Let me know in the chat, please. Just let me know if they're out in the streets like this, trying to call their people to Allah. Let me know. I don't mean to put you out there like that, Sheikh, but inquiring minds need to know because this is so crazy. Muslims are shocked listening to this stuff.
A lot of questions. You ever seen this book before? All right, let me read an excerpt for you in this book. Let's see the origin of Islam and Judaism, all right?
The book From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 48, Islam and Judaism. The Prophet Muhammad adopted many principles and laws from the Jewish religion.
See that? He adopted many laws and principles from the Jewish religion. That's where the whole cover-up concept comes from. That's where the beard, no pork, that was all from the Jewish religion. Because you just said he...
That's from the Jewish religion. Word. The cover-up concept is from the Jewish religion. Like, this is crazy, man. So Abu Rami has answered us, right? Abu Rami says, nope, not at all. Nope, not at all. And also Abu Rami, he says, they put on a show and people are captivated by their nonsense. Exactly. And it's pure nonsense. Listen to what this man is saying. Where is your proof? Anybody can make a claim. The same way that Prophet Muhammad sallam borrowed the beard and the covering up from the Jewish religion is the same way that you borrowed those pants from the white man. You kidding me right now? Why aren't you wearing robes like the Jews of the past? This is like, it's like a joke. It's like this is why I can't take these guys seriously. Can you imagine the Prophet sallam? He met his first Jews when he went to Medina, mind you. Okay? He was like, the Prophet Muhammad sallam was catching all kinds of, you know, problems. Him and the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet, were catching the most problems in Mecca with the polytheists of Mecca, his own people. Okay? He makes the hijrah from Mecca to Medina. Who did he meet in Medina? The Jews. Family, do you know why those Jews were in Medina? Do you know why? Why were Jews in Medina to begin with? These are the people who claim to read the King James Version of the Bible. They claim that. And this is in their very same Bible. Okay? Their customs came from China. Exactly. Their customs came from China with those purple suits and stuff. Yeah, the same way the Prophet sallam, he borrowed the beard and the covering up one from the Jews, the same way that you borrowed those clothes from China, made in China, you know, what you call it, African Bambata suits. Come on, man, y'all ain't serious. There's no way you can be serious, bro. Like seriously, man, you're not serious people. Thank you, Earthy Nomad. The Jews were in Medina because they were waiting for the prophet. Which prophet were they waiting for? The very same one that these guys are saying that borrowed from those very same. The Jews are waiting for the Prophet Muhammad himself. They knew very well he was who he said he was. They were angry because Allah sent a prophet from the Arabs. Like these guys are angry that that Allah sent a prophet from the Arabs. They knew who he was. They understood who he was. They were there waiting for him, but they wanted their prophet to be a Jew like they're a Jew, stuck in that tribalism. And this is mentioned in the Bible directly. It's mentioned in the Bible, including the prophecy in the Bible that actually happened, that they will sing from the mountaintops when he comes. When the Prophet ﷺ entered into Medina, the Medinans sang because they knew this was the Prophet ﷺ who was coming. They sang. Look at C.L. Edwards, man. You gotta rock it, don't stop it. You gotta rock it, don't stop it. African Bambata, y'all. Philadelphia, hop on it, jump on it, jump on it. Toronto, jump on it, jump on it. You kidding me right now, man? African Bambata out there preaching the Bible, man. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Let's keep watching.
Exactly. So that's where he got it from. He went to the Bible and tailored a religion for his people.
Oh, for crying out
That's
loud.
similar. The reason why he didn't just give his people the Bible, because he understood the Bible was not for his people.
He taught all revelation.
Family, is the Bible for black people? Let's keep it a buck right here. We don't have any like visceral or hatred for the Bible. You know, many of us were raised on the Bible. We have a lot of respect for the Bible, right? But we have a very clear understanding of what the Bible actually is. He's out here saying the Quran ain't for black people. Is the Bible for black people? Are you kidding me right now? Is this some sort of sick joke? Is the Bible for black people? Yes or no, family? Put it in the chat, please. I want to see yeses or no in the chat. Is the Bible for black people? You kidding me right now? Just keep watching, yo.
Negative. So when is the Sabbath day?
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. So he didn't follow all revelations and scriptures.
So at one point, they were revelations in the Jewish where we sacrifice animals. But by the time Jesus came along, we no longer had to sacrifice animals. So as time went on, revelation changed. That is no more prophets that were going to come after the prophet Muhammad. So
how did you have Jesus when it was laying there and born?
Hold on, continue reading that.
Muhammad adopted also the main details of the Jewish calendar, the Day of Atonement, the Sabbath.
See that? He adopted the Day of Atonement, the Sabbath, read.
Much of the Bible and narratives from the Midrash.
Much of
Family, y'all know the Islamic calendar, right? Y'all know the Islamic calendar, right? Islamic calendar, y'all. Name one month in the Islamic calendar that's from the Gregorian or whatever, the Jewish calendar, whatever they say. They don't know what they're talking about, man. They don't know what they're talking about. When you ask them very simple questions like, okay, can you prove it? Can you make this link, please? Instead of this empty claim? Like, how do you argue with that? You're going to argue with people who have nothing but empty claims with them? I'm going to put the link in the chat because I see they finally arrived. They have finally arrived. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Let's have a conversation then. Don't be scared. If you want to discuss, the link's in the chat. Let's be real. This is ridiculous, man. Like, how do people take this stuff seriously? The Quran ain't for the black folks, but the Bible is. The actual Bible that was used to actually enslave black people. The actual Bible that the verse of Canaan was used to say that Canaan was the father of the black race and they are to be perpetually enslaved by the rest of the children of Shem. The actual Bible that says slaves love your masters with all your heart, your mind, and your soul, like you love the Lord himself. That Bible, the actual Bible in which the very same folks that given you the King James Bible also gave you the slave Bible. That Bible is for black folks. That Bible, but the Quran isn't. The Quran isn't, but that Bible is for black people. The actual Bible that when white people went to Africa, they made sure to come with those Bibles, give Africans the Bibles. And when the Africans closed their eyes and put their hands up in the air and said, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, they opened their eyes. The Africans had the Bibles and the white folks had the land. That Bible. And on and on and on. The actual Bible in which Pope Innocent, the 11th or 7th, I can't remember, he said, we're going to use this so that these black folks know that they are the children of Canaan and they are to be our servants into infinitum. That Bible. Are you kidding me right now? Somebody tag these folks, please. I'm gonna put the link one more again. This is the video that we're watching in the chat. This is the video that we're watching. Tag them. Go to all of their IUICs. Tag them and tell them to come now. I know they're awake. You got to be kidding me right now. That Bible? That's the Bible for black folks? Y'all are tripping, man. All of this, yes, it's not only verifiable, but it's historically correct. And anybody can check this out. And it won't take very long. Look up the Slave Bible right now. Look up the Curse of Canaan right now. Look up the verses of slavery in the Bible right now. Come on. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's go.
Of the Bible is what Muhammad took and formed his religion.
Oh
Why?
my
He was
gosh.
constantly speaking to the Jews in transportation. It's going to say that. Go down. Trying his best.
Trying his best, Muhammad sought to convert the Jews to his new religion.
See that? He even wanted the Jews, the people he got this information from, he wanted to convert them to his religion.
Y'all believe that? First of all, the Prophet Muhammad wanted to convert everybody to his religion. Okay? He wasn't seeking out the Jews specifically. The Jews were in Medina waiting for him. The Jews were in Medina waiting for the Prophet Muhammad. That's why they were there to begin with. The Jews knew exactly who he was. But he is out on the street trying to convert black folks to Hebrew Israelites, whatever it is, want to call it. He's out there literally trying to convert them right now, other black folks. But there's no indictment against him. Only an indictment against the Prophet Muhammad for trying to convert the Jews to Islam. Like, what are you talking about right now? This is crazy. Let's keep watching, y'all.
Hold on. Let's finish this.
But to no avail, the Jews were adamant and resistant to change. The high esteem which the prophet held for the Jews was transformed to enmity. And instead of allies, he looked upon them as competitors.
So the people he got all this knowledge from, he esteemed them to be high. Now they became his enemy because they did not want to join his new religion. The Jews stuck with the...
Where is he getting this nonsense from? You see the revisionist history? Anybody can write anything that they want. Proving something is something totally different. If you want to prove something, you need something called evidence. Just because you wrote it in a book doesn't make it true. Like, what are you talking about right now? Is this the reason why the Prophet ﷺ had enmity toward the Jews? If the Prophet ﷺ was going to have enmity for anybody, it would be the pagans of Mecca. And alhamdulillah that we know the history of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. We understand that we know that history. Because nobody gave more hell to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his companions than the pagans of Mecca. Like, what are you talking about right now? Anybody who has hatred for anything, they write it in a book. And ironically enough, okay, ironically enough, this is pretty much how the Bible was compiled. Anyways, people just writing it down, right? And when they have hatred for somebody, because there's not very many people were literate in those times at all, if you write it, it had the ability to change the minds of everybody because you wrote it. Sort of like how we see the influence of social media today. One thing goes viral, and the next you know, everybody's talking about it. Like, what are you saying? The Prophet Muhammad, he got mad at the Jews because they didn't convert to his religion. What are you saying right now? Why didn't the Prophet Muhammad force convert his own uncle, Abu Talib, who he loved? Why didn't he force convert him? Why didn't the Prophet force convert the Meccan pagan Arabs? We know all the stuff they did to the Muslims at those times. All kinds of torture and boycotting, so much so that the boycott was so bad, the Muslims were forced to eat leaves off of lote trees. That's how bad the boycott was. And their stool was like the stool of goats because they were eating these leaves. Have you ever seen a lote tree and that leaf? It's a very thick, dry, hard leaf. And if you are forced to eat that, you're in bad shape. The Jews ever do something like that? The reason why he fought the Jews, because they had a pact, a protection pact. They promised to protect each other from who? The pagan Arabs. The very same pagan Arabs that these guys very conveniently leave out this narrative for convenience sake. The Jews were already in Medina waiting for the Prophet. Many of them already converted because they knew who he was. They were singing off the mountains and praising him when he walked into Medina, when he came into Medina, just like the Bible said, exactly like the Bible said. And this was his first encounter with Jews, some 13 years after his mission. Some 13 years after the very first revelation. That's the same 13 years that they say that they copied the Prophet copied the Bible from the Jews. And ironically enough, the very same King James version that they are reading is some 1,000 years older than the Qur'an. You can't make this crap up. Defying the laws of physics and gravity and time travel, and the Prophet Muhammad says something, he must be Doctor Who. He must be Doctor Who with a time machine to go into the future, bring the King James version in English, and come right back to pagan Arabia and translate the King James version in English into Arabic to copy it, to send it to the world, pagan Arabs, as the Quran. And still they cannot quote not a single line, letter of plagiarism, not one. And plagiarism, the easiest crime to prove is plagiarism. It is such a simple crime to prove. How easy a crime of plagiarism to prove is? Look at some of these old white music artists and how they plagiarized black artists, literally the songs word for word, beat for beat, everything, in order to get rich. You can't make this stuff up. That's how easy to prove. Very, very simple. We know many of these white artists, like Elvis Presley, for example. We know how he plagiarized from black artists. So prove it, plagiarism. You gotta be kidding me. Anyways, let's keep watching, y'all.
Laws of God. They didn't want to follow Islam because Muhammad created that. In the Bible,
Going for
there's
crying
no
out loud.
prophecy of him being a prophet. All the other prophet, where? Where do we find that? In the Bible.
Is that true? Is there no prophecy in the other prophet in the Bible? None. Then why were the Jews in Medina? Please, please tell us. Please tell us why the Jews were in Medina waiting for the Prophet Muhammad to say something himself. Why? As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me just, because this is so crazy, man. 1 second, y'all. No prophecies in the Bible. These people don't read, nor do they care to read. And this is what you're competing with in Philly, and you can't deal with this? Like, are you kidding me right now? Philly, I hope y'all are embarrassed, because this is damn embarrassing, man. Okay. This one is a very popular one. I think most of us know this one. Okay, it's in the book of Deuteronomy. Right, those of us who are Christian anyway. Very, very, very popular prophecy about the Prophet Muhammad specifically. Okay, and it's in book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verses 17 and 19. Okay, and the Lord said unto me, we have well spoken that which we have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee. Who are the brethren of the Jews? Somebody put in the chat, please, because they like to talk about this. They themselves admit it. Who is the brethren of the children of Ishaq? Who are they? Somebody put in the chat, please. The brethren of the children of Isaac are who? The children of who? Put in the chat before we continue. Somebody put in the chat. Somebody put in the chat, please. Who are the brethren of the children of Isaac? Where are my purple dressed Muslims at, man? In the book of Deuteronomy. What? It said, what? Let me read it again. What? And the Lord said unto me, that we have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up, 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 a prophet from among their brethren. Among who? Among their brethren. Among who? Among their brethren, like unto thee. And I will put my words in his mouth. Who are the brethren of the children of Isaac? Look, come on. The brethren of the children of Isaac, are they not the children of Ismail? Are they not the children of Ismail? Literally brothers. And they say it all the time. They say it all the time. Abraham had two sons, Isaac and Ismail. And it's Ishmael. They call him Ishmael. They're saying this thing all the time. They're reading this thing all the time. They're saying it with their mouth. Their own mouth is an indictment against them with this verse. And what does it say? and will put my words, meaning Allah's words, in his mouth. You mean like Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful? And he shall speak unto them all that I, meaning who? Allah, command him, meaning the Prophet Muhammad says. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak, and in my name, whose name? The name of who? Bismillah. The name of who? Bismillah. The name of Allah. I will require it of him. You can't make this stuff up. Their own words are in very huge indictment against them. Because now what are you going to do with this verse here? What are you going to do? That is a very obvious prophecy about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. Without stretching it like they stretch everything. Just taking it as it is. Who is this prophet that speaks in the name of Allah, in the name of God in the Bible? Who is it? Is there one? In the name of God, in the name of God, in the name of God. What about in the name of Allah? Name of who? The name of Allah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah. 113 out of 114 chapters of the Quran. Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You can't make this stuff up. This one is another very popular one. A very popular one, right? Those of us who are old school, we know this one. Okay? This one here. It says, the kingdom of God, this is Matthew 21:43. The kingdom of God shall be taken from you and given to a nation, bringing forth fruits thereof. Taken from who? Who was Jesus sent to? There you go. See, even Earthy Nomad, she brought this one up. It's another very popular one. The kingdom of God shall be taken from who? The Jews, correct? The same Israelites that these people are saying that they are not. That they are. Okay? Taken from you and be given to a nation who bringing forth fruits thereof. Is there any other nation that has brought more fruits other than the Islamic nation? Name one nation that bring up more fruits than the Islamic nation. More people convert to Islam than any other religion. Muslims have the most children out of any other religion. Fastest growing religion in the world, Islam. Muslims under several different khilafahs have ruled Asia, Africa, and even parts of Europe for centuries. Did any Israelite nation ever rule anything? And this is not stretching. This is like Dr. Sebastian Longstaff, 2 billion Muslims. Are there 2 billion Israelites? Come on, man. Their words become their own downfall. Now you got to deal with this because you are the one who are saying that there are no prophecies about the Prophet Muhammad in the Bible. And these are just even the light ones. They're ones that are even way more, they're undeniably clearer than these ones. But these are some of the more popular ones. These are ones that you'll find most Muslims, they know these ones. Okay. This is the one that this is the one here that we were talking about. That the prophecy about the Prophet Muhammad entering into Medina. And it is mentioned in the Bible as a prophecy directly. And this is the same prophecy that caused the Jews to go to Medina to begin with and wait for the Prophet Muhammad. This is from Isaiah 21:13-17. right? You can't make this crap up. Like their mouth is a witness against their own selves. Okay, the burden upon Arabia in the forest in Arabia shall ye lodge. O ye traveling companions. Look at here. Oh my gosh. O ye traveling companions of Dedanim. The traveling companions of Dedanim. You can't make this crap up. The inhabitants of the land of Tema brought water to him that was thirsty. They prevented with their bread him they fled. Did we not just talk about? Oh my gosh. Man. We talked about how the Meccans they boycotted the Prophet ﷺ and his companions so much so they had to eat leaves from the trees. And he fled from, and they're using the word companions directly. Sahaba, companions. The Sahaba. For they fled from their swords, from their drawn swords, and from their bent bow, from the grievousness of war. For thus hath the Lord said unto me, within a year, according to the years of a hireling, on all the glory of Kedar shall fail. What's Kedar? Do y'all know who Kedar is? Who's Kedar, people? You can't make this crap up, man. You can't. This is, anyways. We just finished talking about them. But they're saying there's no prophecies of the Prophet Muhammad in the Bible. That's what they say. Another very, very clear one. In John 14, 15, 17. If you love me, keep my commands. I will pray to the Father. This is Jesus speaking. And he shall give you another comforter. Who's the comforter? That he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth. Who's this comforter that he's talking about? Please, do pray tell us, dear Israelite. And on and on and on and on and on. Thank you, Earthy Nomad. Medina. Kilar's Medina. They know it's Medina. If they read the Bible, they should know it's Medina. And there's even like everything. She's busting them out. Look at that. This one, Mark 1:7. There come one after mightier than me, whose sandal strap I'm not worthy to stoop and loose. Who is this person coming after Jesus? Peace be mightier than him. Who is this? Amen. Mentioned Dr. Solomon 5, 6, 16 many times. Songs of Solomon. That's the. Let me just pull it up here. Can't remember which that one was. Let's see. Song of Songs or Songs of Solomon. 15. Which book is it? Songs 1 or 2? I think there are 2 of them, right? Let's try 516 anyway. 516. Let's get this one up. There are too many. I think there's like 19 or something like that. 18 or 19 prophets is a bare minimum of the Prophet Muhammad say something directly. These guys saying there's not a single one. His mouth is sweet, ye altogether lovely. Yea, he is altogether lovely. You know what this word means in Hebrew? Yea, he is altogether lovely. You know why he mentioned this? Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to tell you exactly why because these people, they play games. Okay, you know why Zakir Nak? See, I'm going to show y'all something here. This is what Sister Iman is saying. Okay, Sister Iman is saying this verse here, right? Zakir mentioned Songs of Solomon 5:16. This verse, this is what they translated it now. Okay, these people, they play games so much. One second, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get it. One second here. Where can I get it? Where can I get it? Oh, come on, man. So, one second. I just had it. Let me go back. I gotta pull it up in a different one because this thing's tripping. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it up here so y'all can see. Okay. One second, y'all. I'm gonna pull it up so you can see the games these guys play. I'm not making this up. Okay. So this is the translation, a Song of Solomon. Okay. His mouth is sweetness itself. He is altogether lovely. He is altogether lovely. They translated this part here. If y'all can see it, he is altogether lovely. You know what the Hebrew word is for this? You know what the original translation for this is? His name is Muhammadim. Muhammadim. Who gives you the right to take the man's name and then translate it into something else so that people don't know? This is lies. They take this, the original word, even in the Hebrew text, is Muhammadim. Muhammad's name mentioned directly in about. Maybe they have it here. One second. He is altogether lovely. He's wholly desirable. If one of them is honest, they will show it. That's why he always mentions this. That's why Dr. Zakir Nas always mentions this. Additional translations. Let's see. I want to see if I can find it. They play games. That's the Prophet Muhammad SAW, his name mentioned in the Bible. Maybe I can find it. 1 second here. That's why he's mentioning that. Let me try to see. I want to get the exact verse so y'all can see it for yourself, so I know I'm not capping. You see, when I'm pulling it up, it's all this apologetic stuff. So you know it's true. If they're talking about it, you know it's true. Okay, so I found something here. It's in Islam.qa. Let me just go over here. 1 second. 1 second. They take the name of the Prophet Muhammad, which is mentioned right there, and they translate it as altogether lovely. Games. So here's the question. 1 second, y'all. Okay, so here's the question. I'm from India. My dobat on the Bible verse, my doubt. Okay. In the Hebrew, the word here, Muhammadan, is a word there, but my friend is for knows Hebrews. Muhammad is not a complete word. It's a combination of two words meaning Muhammad, and the word Matag, Ahmed, is a root word that means much more altogether lovely, means altogether lovely. Okay. So that's the question. The Hebrew text of the words of Psalms on which verse, and this is they put the Hebrew, right? And then they put this, and then English translation follows, how sweet, altogether lovely in Jerusalem. We refer to a number of translations, the word, right? And they put all these translations, right? Furthermore, the context rules out the interpretation of the words referring to Muhammad. The entire book of Psalms is a lovely poem, and in the context is far moved to the Prophet Muhammad. So they're saying it's not the Prophet Muhammad, say something. That's what they're saying here, right? Allahu Alam. Nevertheless, the foretelling the Prophet Muhammad says in the book says that is proven and established by Allah and exalted and he interpret and those who follow mention and those who read neither write and who find that with them written in the Torah and Injil. Okay, so they're saying and this that it's not referring to Prophet Muhammad directly, right? That's what they're saying in that fatwa, right? So Allahu Alam. But that's why Dr. Zakir he mentions that. But anyways, there are plenty prophecies in the Bible about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they play. Okay, give me a moment here. 1 second to get the video back. 1 second, y'all. Where's that video?
Bible.
You find it in the Bible. I can't listen. I am knowledgeable, right?
I believe you are.
I don't care all the knowledge. Do I say I'm supposed to know? But in the Bible, it does say that after Jesus Christ, comes the man of truth, right? I'm not even.
So who's that? Did it say it's Muhammad? It don't never say his name is not in this book, sis. His name is not in this book.
We just established. Oh my gosh.
There's no Holy Spirit.
How come?
We just established his name is in the book. We just established his name is in the book. Okay? Let's keep rolling, y'all.
Jesus never died and resurrected. That's what you believe. That's what you believe. That's where Muhammad took you off. Muhammad didn't want you to know there's a Christ, because if you know there's a Christ, it proves that the religion that he created was.
Now, who is plagiarizing from who here? They have all these grandiose claims. They say they're not Christian, correct? That's what they say. Wouldn't it be easier for Muhammad if he wanted to plagiarize? Wouldn't it be easier for him to say that Jesus is Lord, like they say Jesus is Lord? Since they want to accuse the Prophet Muhammad of plagiarizing all the time. Is this not belief a direct plagiarism from Christians? Did Jesus ever command the people to worship him? Yes or no? Did Jesus ever command the people to worship him? Yes or no? So where are you getting that from? Can't be Jesus. So who's plagiarizing who here? Y'all are tripping. Y'all are straight tripping. Let's keep rolling, y'all.
It's fake. Now, go back to the Bible. Let's go back to the Bible.
And I can't really take exactly from that book either, because that's a man-made book right there. A man wrote that book.
All right, so listen to this. You believe in Abraham, right? All right, read this.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 22. For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons.
Abraham had 2 sons.
Oh my gosh.
I just want to make sure we agree as we go along. Now, this is the Bible. This is the New Testament. Muhammad wrote nothing about this. Read.
The one by the bondmaid, the other by a free woman.
So, Ishmael was born by the bondmaid, Hagar. That was the two children of Abraham. The first son was Ishmael, by the bondmaid Hagar, and one by the free woman, which was Sarah, right? Read on.
But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh.
So he that was born after the bondwoman was born after the flesh. What does that mean? That means that Sarah had a urge. She wanted a child. She was barren. She couldn't have a child. So she took her handmaid, which was Hagar, and said, have a child for me. That was of the flesh. She wanted it that, right? Read on.
But he of the free woman was by promise.
He of the free woman, which was Isaac, was by a promise. Who promised him? God. God promised him that child. All right, so listen to this.
Verse 24. Which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which genereth to bondage, which is Agar. Verse 25. For this Agar is Mount Sinai, For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia.
In Arabia, Hagar, that covenant, the first child, is of Arabia. Where does Arabs come from? Arabia. All right, read on.
And answereth to Jerusalem, which now
it says, and answereth to Jerusalem. The Arabs had to answer to Jerusalem, read.
Which now is, and it is in bondage with her children.
So Arabs, and what it's saying, they're in bondage with all their lineage. They're in bondage. That was the bondwoman. Read.
Verse 26.
This is so ridiculous, man. This is so ridiculous. 1 second, y'all. Let me add CL up in here. And they're talking some nonsense, man. Oh my gosh. It's like, man, they're giving me a headache, straight up. Let me add CL. Salaam Alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother CL.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah. What you got for us, Sheikh?
In the book of Deuteronomy.
And the book of Deuteronomy said what?
Oh, man. Hey, this is an L for Philly.
Yeah.
This is, you can't blame them. You can't blame the ignorant one. He doesn't know any better,
Yeah.
But this is an L for Philly. How in Philly y'all allow these guys to be on the corner? Now they are in Detroit. Actually, I saw them one time when I was in downtown Detroit. It was posted up with the microphones and talking to people and everything. But they had been, I know people in Detroit. If they had been anywhere near Masjid Tawheed, if they had been anywhere near Qur'an and Sunnah Society, they would have got washed.
Yeah, of course.
They got ran off the block.
Yeah, and it would have been quite easy as well. You know what I mean? Their whole model is this model here, where they out here they yell and holler in a karaoke machine, and they've been doing this style since Yahweh been Yahweh, right? That's the first one I seen doing it. Maybe there is before, but Yahweh was the one who really made that popular, right? When he was around. Do you know who Yahweh been Yahweh is?
I'm aware of him.
Yeah, right. So, and they really died out after he got imprisoned, and then all of a sudden we just start seeing them popping up everywhere in the purple whatever. You get me? And they're all in where Muslims go. Wherever Muslims go, that's where they're headed. And this is the stuff that they're saying. And I'm looking at it like exactly the way you were saying. This is an L. It's a massive L, because not only is the stuff that they're spewing absolute nonsense, but they're getting people with this nonsense, and you are there in your community, which says more about you than it does about them.
Yes, it says a lot about. I'm putting it back on Philly again. Everybody knows, I've heard numbers upwards of 10% of Philly is supposed to be Muslim. How you have these guys on the corner, you got all those Muslims in Philly. And people,
you know what I mean? Yeah, graduates from Medina, students from Damaj. And
if they're allowed to be on the corners talking about Al-Islam like that, to the people, all that says is that the Muslims don't have an answer.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it says. And they're going to the people that we should be going to. They're going, it's very clear that the people that are talking, they don't know anything. They're very ignorant, right? But they're concerned about those people, what they consider their guidance.
Exactly.
Whereas the Salafi community is concerned about upholding the legacy of Sheikh Rabia. you know.
Well, we honestly we can learn something from them
Mm,
if we're going to be completely honest and humble.
mm,
We could actually learn something from them
yeah.
because listen, they have found a way to lock down the internet
Mm-hmm,
and the streets.
mm-hmm,
So they're out in the streets in the community
mm-hmm,
every single week,
mm-hmm,
live talking to people. They're
mm-hmm,
filming the interactions that they're having with people, then posting them online,
mm-hmm,
and they're doing content online. Their bishops and deacons are doing live shows online also.
mm-hmm.
And you notice that like IUIC, these different camps, they all have a different chapter in each city. So
Yeah.
they have the main page and website, and each chapter has its own sub page and website. So they're constantly posting content, and they're constantly out in the streets at the same time.
Mm,
And now, we're talking about Islamic dawah, Muslim dawah, at least in the United States, I can't speak for everywhere else. United
mm,
States and that the UK, it's turned into this kind of lazy online thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're content with being
Because
online.
the money is on online. That's where it is. If you're
Exactly.
being real, that's where the money is. Right. Sister Iman, she says they watch Barney. I'm sorry, I had to post that one. She goes, they watch Barney, man. They watch Barney,
Subhanallah.
Yeah, but we can definitely learn from them. And to be honest, if we're being completely real, we should actually be embarrassed because this is really, really, really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
And we should be taking guys from out of their synagogue or church. I don't even know what they call their places of worship, but whatever
Mm.
it's called, we should be just taking snatching dudes out of there
Yeah,
and giving
yeah,
them shahada.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if this is the stuff that they're saying, and it's ridiculous, doesn't even begin to describe their claims, right? It doesn't even begin to describe like some outlandish, outrageous, nonsensical, very creative, imaginative claims. And
I'm not.
I don't even say creative, but imaginative, absolutely.
No, it's creative. It's very creative.
Yeah.
If you, Aki, I've seen the pictures online and some of the videos they got online. They got First of all, I want to. There's so many questions I have. Like one of the first is it the first or second commandment in the Bible says you're not supposed to make an image
Mhm.
of the Creator. Yet all online they got pictures of Yahweh, who's supposed to
Wow.
they claim is the Creator. They got all these pictures and on their YouTube pages.
I did not know that.
They got all
I
these
did,
pictures and images, and
I did not know that.
he's a buff black guy with white hair and a white beard, and he's buffed. I don't know why. I don't know why their God has to be. He's buffed or steroids. Like how do you reconcile that?
Yeah,
How do you
exactly.
reconcile that
Like,
the commandment tells you not to make an image of
mm,
the divine, and yet
mm,
you got images plastered everywhere of Yahweh?
yeah. Bro, man, it's just nuts, man. It's totally nuts. And it's not necessarily about roasting them because I keep saying it all the time. It's like for me, when I look at them, for me personally, I see them as a waste of time. Only because when you it's just every single sentence they say needs a refutation, like all of it,
I said,
So
yeah, they are not serious
yeah, they're not serious.
on the individual level. They are not serious, but it's
Mm,
serious when, especially, I know people like me and you and others have a commitment to give the dawah to our people,
mm,
and if they have the ear of some of our people,
mm,
and if they have the attention of our people, then that takes away from our ability to give dawah to our people and to give dawah in an urban setting.
mm.
So in that sense, it is serious.
Yeah, 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 and we keep saying here on the Black grassroots, the Black Muslim grassroots, that our focus needs to be our people. You know what I mean? That needs to be our focus. We can't be involved in the politics of some some Saudi sheikh somewhere. You know what I mean? What that got to do with us, man? This is totally it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? I remember when Sheikh Mufti Munir, he said that those Saudi sheikhs, when they're eating their dates and drinking their Arabic tea, they ain't worried about you. And that's a fact. That's a fact. You think they care about you, right? But you are all up in their business, and you're making it front and center. You know what I mean?
Nah, subhanallah, and I know they're lurking. I
Mhm.
know they're lurking. They're in the
Yeah,
audience.
yeah, I know.
Why don't they ever come up and defend? At least have a not even
At
defend. It
least
ain't
have
about
a
defending. Have a
conversation.
conversation.
Have a conversation. Then you believe this stuff? Okay, let's talk. You believe? We don't have no. We don't. Unfortunately, we don't have the karaoke machine and the we don't have that stuff. You know, you know what I mean. We don't have the whole.
I would like to have a conversation with one of them.
Mm,
Interview, and it doesn't even have to be anything hostile. It
mhm,
doesn't even have to be a debate. Just a conversation. I just want to know, from one of you guys, what is it that you see in this?
mm,
What do you get out of this? What do you
mm,
see in this? When you're like the bishop Nathaniel and the other bishops and the deacons in IUIC, and not
mm,
just IUIC, all the rest of them, Sakari and all these other groups. Why are you impressed by them? Like
mm,
what is it that they're saying that impressed you so much? Because I'm going to be totally honest, not to put down what you believe in. When I listen to Bishop Nathaniel and all these other, it doesn't really impress me.
mhm,
I don't see these. It doesn't impress me any more than a pastor, any old regular pastor does. You, for me, if I'm going to sit and listen to you talk, you got to be able to teach me something. you know,
yeah,
and I don't look
one
at these
hundred
guys
percent.
as somebody who can teach me anything. And I'm not saying that out of arrogance. I'm just saying, I'm just not impressed.
Mhm. Yeah, but I do see the appeal. I do see where the appeal comes from because again, they have a sense of community and brotherhood,
Yes.
and they really remind me of Dr. York. You know,
Mm.
when he was Malachi Z York or whatever. No, before he was Malachi Z York, when he was um, Imam Isa, when he was Imam Isa Al Hadi Al Mahdi, right? All right, that was actually his most influential days when he was out there pretending to be Muslims, right?
Mm.
But they had a sense of community. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And he was able to do things that I'd never seen any Muslim, Black Muslim community ever do. Right?
Hmm.
Even though he was running a straight up insane cult, right? One of the things that he was able to do that I have yet to see a Black Muslim community do was he had all his community members, women, children, men, all learning, reading, and speaking the Arabic language.
Mm.
That is a fact.
Mm.
They would speak in their communities in Arabic.
Mm.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
You know, he had like a very how do you say, like, because he was running a cult really, but the leadership was very clear. It was very clear. You know what I mean? So that his followers just followed him, right? But he was definitely a cult leader, 100%. I'm not
Hmm.
saying that we need to be running a cult, of course not. But we already have the cult mentality in the Black community already. Enough as this, the Hebrew Israelites approve of it, the Black Salafi elements approve of it, the Black Sufi elements approve of it. And there's too many cult leaders, so much, so to speak, where you have this infallible personality who runs the cult, right? And then the people just kind of fall in line. But when we do it, there's no benefit to it. At least those folks they learned Arabic. At least they got a language out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would like to know what's the financial structure of
Mm-hmm.
groups like IUIC
Mm-hmm.
and Sakari and the rest of, like, because I mean, of course, you guys believe in the Bible, so you believe in the concept of tithes and offerings. And so, you guys obviously must be giving up tithes and offerings to the organization. How much tithes and offering are coming into the organization, and
Mm.
where does that financial money go to?
Hmm.
Well, if it's, we know the motto of the church, we know where the tithes and offering go to.
Yeah.
We know in the church where the tithes and offering go to. So,
Hmm.
are you guys supposed to be different?
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah. Okay, family. Listen, family. It's late now. I got to work tomorrow in the morning, right? But make sure you support the channel, right? We will be going live again tomorrow. I'm hoping that these guys do so. Even if they want to talk behind the camera, is fine with me. Right? I don't have to talk to them on camera, right? But any things you want to say before you go, Co?
Uh, you know, yeah, I just like to echo your last point. I
Mm-hmm.
would love to talk to one of you guys, if it even if it's one of the leadership or if it's just rank and file.
Mm-hmm.
You just believe in it. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna clown you about your clothes. I'm not gonna say anything about your clothes. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna say. I ain't gonna.
Leave
I,
that.
I'm gonna leave
Leave
it
that alone.
alone. I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
it
we're gonna leave
alone for
that alone.
now. For
Mm-hmm.
now, I'm gonna leave it alone. But we can have a straight up and down conversation.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're respectful to me, I'll be respectful for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I can cap. Too if you want to get into it. But no, I'm gonna leave you alone.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, K family. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Make sure you support me on Patreon. Make sure you support me on PayPal. Make sure you buy me a coffee. Make sure and we got the super chats now. We're back monetized with YouTube. So don't forget to support the channel as much as you can. All right. Subhanakallah hamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.